Welcome back, everybody. Yet another sunny day here up at the shop. Got a lot of stuff I need to get done. I think we're gonna be finished with the cheap car today, the little Infiniti. I ended up having to get a set of tires for it. We're gonna do a test drive on it today, which will be the first test drive I've ever done in it. So hopefully everything will work out and things will go good with it. Second, this guy, I got my extended license for forescan, so we're gonna make a second attempt at the key program. And then we'll give a few updates on some other things, so let's get after it. So here we have her, the little Infiniti G37S. I ended up doing a couple of things off camera. I pulled the wheels off and went and had a set of brand new fronts put on it. The original fronts were in really bad shape. I've got it running just to kind of warm the engine up, and then we're going to go on a test drive. I did, if you remember from, well, where's that? If I could find the hood release. Oh! There it is. All right. Now I did have to go back on the air conditioner compressor and add one more shim to it. We had tried a couple of different things, but I could not get the air gap right. So I ended up having to get some more clutch shims for that air conditioner compressor. But I've got it shimmed out. It works great. The compressor kicks on and off as it should. The clutch freewheels as it should. We've got some new tires. It's running great. I did not fix the bumper. I'm going to try to sell it with the bumper damaged, simply for the sake of time. Just because painting and clearing, it's not that I can't do it, I can do it, but it takes a lot of time. And there we can see the interior. That's that Nissan Maxima seat bottom I put in it. It fits and looks okay, but it does not have the airbags like the factory Infiniti seats. So that gave us an airbag warning on the dash. But as you can tell, it's running like a champ. And it actually looks pretty good. I'm going to try to talk my wife into washing it for me this weekend while I'm at work. So we've got our little walk around done. Let's run this thing down the road and see how it drives. Well, we're headed out. The initial test drive on the little 370, not a 370, G37S. Same thing as a 370. But we're gonna get her out on the highway, bring her up to speed, and check the cruise, and just make sure everything kind of works. I believe it's going to. It's been running about 15 minutes as of right now. The temperature's up to normal, not overheating. I've got the heater on. It was a tad chilly this morning, but the car was kind of frosted over, so I've got the heater on. It's working super. I mean, it's got my feet all nice and toasty. So we're coming up on the highway. We'll get her out, see how it does. Automatic door locks just worked. I guess after you get up to a certain speed, they lock. I can already tell it's riding a lot better with these new tires. Is those old tires, ooh, they were they were in bad shape. Yeah, this baby will get out. It's got some power. Got some power. And it rides like it has a sport suspension in it. It's very stiff. It's very, like I can feel the road really good with it. Check the cruise. We're going to set her on about 65. Yep, and it's set. So we're just cruising, normal temperature. Things are looking good. I still have just a touch of vibration on it, which honestly could be the rear tires. They were not ruined like the back tires or the front tires were. They were in pretty good shape, but you know, you don't ever know how something is until you get to drive it. This flat road right here, it's pretty smooth. Now I get in this lane is when I start to get a lot of the feeling of the sport suspension. This lane is the one 18-wheelers normally stay in, and they just beat this road to death. So we'll get over here in this nice lane. See, it just smooths right out. This would be a super good A to B car. Or it would make a killer drift car. This thing does have, I know it'd be more desirable if it was a 6-speed, but this little car will fly. And it's got a check engine light. It's throwing like a battery low voltage code, but I've never had trouble with it cranking since I got the battery charged up, so I don't know if that's an old code or what's going on with that. But that's the reason the check engine light is on. Just a smooth driving little car. I'm gonna get the outside washed and get it put up for sale, because I'm not looking to sell it for no gigantic amount of money. I just want to move it along, because I'm kind of selling it for some family members, just to kind of move it for them. We are just under 180,000 miles. This car's been really well serviced in its life. Technically it's a one owner. The lady I got it from, she bought it brand new. And it's just been a good car for them. And then it's sat for a while. All of the electric tilt steering works. It's telescoping. I checked the mirrors before I left. They all work. It just seems like everything works in this car. It was just kind of parked, and that's where it stayed. think those back tires are giving just a little vibration. They may be able to be balanced out just because they've been setting. Like, you know, if you're going to let a car set, it's good to move it every, you know, at least every couple of weeks, maybe a month, because the tires will flat spot, and if they ever flat spot, you're not going to fix them. They just will vibrate and you know, seem like you've got a really bad tire, and which technically you do if it's flat spotted. But I think that's what I'm getting, is the back tires are a little flat spotted, but it still drives really good. Like, I'm not getting any vibration out of it. There goes somebody's house. Franklin Homes. So we've run it about 5 miles. I'm going to go ahead and turn around and head back towards the shop. I think this was a good little test drive to just kind of pick it apart and see what we did fix, what may need some more attention. And of course, I'm going to list it on Facebook. If anyone on here sees it and wants it, just reach out to me. We'll see what we can do, because this is a straight little car for the money. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to price it at, but I mean, it's not going to be through the roof. It's going to be a reasonable car. If somebody needs a car for their, you know, their daughter or son's first car, it'll be cheap enough for that. And it may, you know, they may drive it 6 months. It may need a set of back tires. It may need a windshield. It's got a crack in it, of course, in the absolute worst spot you can imagine. But other than that, the dash is kindly cracked up just from sitting, I believe. And but everything's working. Cruise is working. We're cruising at about 68, and it's just a pretty smooth ride. So one thing I did forget before I get back to the shop, I did turn the radio on. It works. The steering wheel controls work. One of my other videos got flagged for copyright because I had the radio playing in the background. But anyways, I just want to check it. But also, this baby has paddle shifters. So if you really want to put the power down, you know, maybe do a little barking in second, this is your ride. But yeah, it does have paddle shifters. You can run it in manual and do some racing. So we're headed back. We'll get to work on the Cobra. So out test driving, we're doing pretty good in the little Infiniti. I'm going to end this video here. Like I said, I'm going to post this on the Facebook, on the marketplace for sale. I really don't like using marketplace. You get a lot of scammers and just people trying, I don't know what they're trying to do, but you'll get like a million, is this available messages, and anywho's, that doesn't matter. So I'll post it on Facebook. If anybody that sees it on here is interested, just reach out. If we're close, we'll make something happen, and we'll go from there. So we're headed back to the shop. We're gonna get at the Cobra and see if we can get the PAT system turned off. Back from the test drive, we did about a 12-mile run in it. Everything performed as good as I hoped it would. It's turned into a pretty good little car to have sat as long as it did. So this may be the finale on this. So we'll see. We will see. Now let's get at that Mustang. All right, back in the Cobra. We've got our battery tender hooked up to the battery, so we've got sufficient power while doing all this. My laptop is charged, or it has about 3/4 battery. So we're going to hook up and see what we can do with this key program situation. I have already installed, that is loud, I've already installed the new ignition for the 2 new PATS keys. See the little chip? So I've already installed that. So what I'm going to do is just an erase and reprogram on the keys, which should take about 10 minutes. So I'm sorry about the dinging. I'll probably speed this part of the video up, but anywho's, that dinging is irritating. Oh, it quit dinging. I never really liked how these Mustangs hooked up on the DLC connector. It's like upside down and sideways and all kinds of junk. So I've got my foreskin pulled up. We're gonna hook up to it with my, I forgot what this is called, my OBD-E cable, I think. I'm not sure. Anywho's, I bought it off Amazon. Let's see if we can get a connection. Ignition is on. Vehicle is not moving. Vehicle has been established. 2001 Mustang. That's what we're looking for. You know, I've never even thought. 41763. 41763. So the VIN matches between the PCM and the car. That's a good sign. Okay, we've got our DTCs. So let me see if I remember how to do this. GEM module configuration. PATS programming. I wish I could get this to where y'all can see it. I had to change. Stupid Christmas trees. So I had to change the position of my camera because the sun was so bright out there you couldn't even see it. So what I'm at is I'm going to go down here to PATS reprogramming. Click on that. I forgot. Oh yeah, and then there's a little start button down here. We're going to hit it. All right, so what we see. PATS on this car is distributed between the instrument cluster and the PCM. The instrument cluster handles the keys. The PCM immobilizes the engine if start is not allowed by the control system or synchronization with the PATS module is lost. This procedure implements the following. Ignition key programming. This procedure will add keys to the PATS system memory. Keys already known to the PATS system will not be erased. That's a good thing. So if it comes down to it, I can put my original key and ignition back in it and it'll still run. Erase and program keys. This procedure will erase all stored keys from the PATS system and program at least 2 new keys. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm actually going to erase all the keys. So my key will not work. That's just if I wanted to add keys, and I do not. I want to erase and program all of it. Spare keys programmable, we're not doing that. This function is used if PATS, PCM, instrument cluster, or VIC is replaced. We will need 2 keys to start the vehicle if we replaced any of these modules. So we're just going to go ahead and do an OK on that. Now, right here's the deal. So we can do an ignition key programming, erase and program keys, or module installation, or program spare keys. So what I'm doing is erase and program keys. This is a little scary. timed access paths requires the diagnostic tester to enter a runtime delay before security access is allowed. We're going to continue that. And what that is like a 10 to 12 minute, it's just like a waiting period. And once that has passed, then we can program the keys. So let me get you over here to see this. So when you're programming stuff, you hopefully can see that instrument cluster says diag on it. So like it's in like a diagnosis mode, which they do that with like the Ford software, the IDS or something like that. So what you want to do, you just want to wait, give it time, let it do its thing, and then we should be able to program the keys. So I'll see y'all in about 10 minutes. All right, we're back. We gained access to the PAT. So what this says is I must now program a minimum of 2 keys in the key programming procedure. So what we've got to do, I have both keys, this one and the one in the ignition. It says to turn the ignition off and wait 10 seconds. Within 5 seconds, cycle ignition key 1. After that key's done, cycle key 2 from off to run for at least 3 seconds. So that's supposed to be programmed. I'm still hearing a clicking out here and I don't like it. So let's just see. So it still runs, but I've got a theft light flashing. Let's try the second key. It runs, but I've still got a theft light flashing, which I do not like. So let's cut that off. I do not know what that's all about. You see the clicking stopped just then and then started back. So I don't know if we've got some boogers in this or what. So let me go back to DTCs and see what we've got. Actually, okay, I'm on DTCs. I don't know how to delete, reset DTCs. Let's do that. Okay. All right, now reset. Yes. Off. Back on. That's traction control. Passenger open GM9 ABS. So I'm not showing any more like theft codes since I cleared them. So I don't understand. Well, I think I do. Okay. So here's what I may try to do. I've done this in the past at the Ford dealership. So what I might do, or I might try to do, What's that? Okay. That's done. Oh, there we go. So what I'm going to try to do is to do a reset on all adaptations on the PCM. I hope that puts it back to a stock program, but I don't know, because I think that's what I'm going to have done. Is probably take it to a Ford dealership and have them pull whatever program was done in the PCM out and then put a factory one back in it. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to do, I don't know if y'all can see it, I'm going to do a PCM reset all adaptations and see what that does. Just to try it. Okay. So that may take a few minutes. We will see. I guess I could rant a little bit. I don't know. Oh, something's... Oh, my goodness. It said we have been interrupted. I bet it's because the keys are here. Keys on. So let's do it again. You know, I'm all for programming, tuning, all that kind of stuff, but sometimes it's not necessary. Sometimes it is, but you know, I'm kind of, so it says we have done this successfully. Still got a theft light. Don't know. Don't have any idea what that is. I think it's the radio. But anywho's, so that's a fail times 2 on me programming the keys. Now, allegedly, I did successfully program 2 keys with ForeScan. Now, if you're kind of a side job kind of person, I highly recommend this ForeScan. It has helped me with all of this, but as you can tell, I think we've had some gremlins working on this a little bit, and but I'll get it cleared up. It's not a big thing for me. I knew the car had a few kinks in it, and but I'll get them straightened out. It ain't no thing. So we shall move on. Well, so I've had no luck with the programming side of stuff. So for a little context, this car has been tuned by Bama Performance. I don't think that has anything to do with the theft light, in my honest opinion. I was thinking about, and I even tried to do it with ForeScan, but it didn't work. I was going to do just like a factory as-built data reset on my PCM. Well, I guess luckily I wasn't able to do that because of the type of PCM and programming that this car has in it. Because I was just going to delete the Bama tune and just go back to like the factory parameters in the PCM. So with a little further investigation, I don't think it's the tuning that has created the PATS issue or the theft light staying on and flashing. I think somebody did a janky install of a stereo system, and may have possibly tied into one of like the controller area network wires or something like that that has to do with the PCM and it communicating between it, or I said the PCM, the instrument cluster. They may have attached to a wire that talks between the instrument cluster and the PCM. So I did a little look and a little digging. I'm going to show you here in a minute. I'm actually headed back up to the shop in it. I had to go down to the house where I had Wi-Fi access because I'm not bougie. I don't have it at my shop. But I'm going to show you what I'm talking about with this wiring. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to work or not, or if that's the problem. But I think my next project, we'll say, I'm probably going to end up disconnecting this radio and at least the wiring, just like disconnecting it, that way there's no interrupters or anything like that. Because the reason I'm saying that is because it's network wires, and these cars, those network wires, it'll just be like 2 or 3 wires and they'll be twisted, like braided. And those you're not supposed to mess with. Like if you do a radio install or like aftermarket lights or something like that, you're not supposed to tie into those wires because a different signal can throw them off. So that's why I'm kind of wondering / hoping that may be what my issue is, because there is a relay that's still clicking. In my mind, I'm like, well, the theft light's flashing, so it's probably the flasher relay that's trying to flash the flashers, but the flashers never flash. So with that, I'm going to show you this radio and kind of the wiring that I'm talking about, and we'll go from there. Okay, so here's the radio I'm talking about. It's a Pioneer, just looks like a double DIN unit. I don't know, but I didn't put it in. I don't know who did. So let me show you this up under here. The first thing that caught my eye was these wires right here. So we have a white one and we have a brown one. I'm not sure what they go to or anything like that. So hopefully we can see, but the flasher that's flashing, let's see if I can find some better light. I can't see. The flasher that's flashing is this right here. There's a huge blue flasher that's clicking up under here. Now, I'm not sure why, but that looks like a factory harness going into that. So something is causing that to flash. So now back over here where these wires were, if I can get my camera right. So there is a huge wad of wires coming out of this factory harness. All right. We have this white wire is just deadheaded. So I don't know, that could have been added. This brown wire has nothing going to it, and it runs up into the factory harness. Same way with this tan wire and red wire. They run into this factory harness, but they have been rerouted to way over here and just kind of had some little janky connectors put on them. So that's my wiring find of the day. Now let me get out of here and I'll talk to you. Well, hopefully you got a little bit from that, showing you the wiring and all that bull crap that's in that little car. I'm gonna have to end this video here. This is my only day off this week, and I'm going in tomorrow, so I'll be working all weekend. But I wanted to do a little bit on the car today because I haven't got to mess with it in a week or so. But in the next video of this car, I'll be breaking down that wiring. I'm going to try to video all of it. Working up under a dash is not fun, and it's not easy to do. So with that being said, I really hope y'all are gaining some at least a little bit of knowledge out of what I'm doing here on this car, because say like what I've been doing, we're tracing down a theft light issue or PATs, but the car still cranks, okay? Well, that shouldn't be happening anyways. So most likely what has happened when Bama Performance tuned this car, they probably did away with the PAT system or the need for it, okay? The instrument cluster still looks for those PATS keys. So there is our problem. But what I was thinking was 2 or 3 things was caused or stemmed from the same problem, and they're not. So my theft light or PATS issue I'm having, I believe is in the cluster, and I believe it's done with some janky wiring stuff that's went on. So hopefully that will shed some more light on the situation. The flasher deal, like I'm thinking the flasher should have been flashing because you hear them in the car, but I don't think that stems from the PATS. So I don't even think that's a flasher relay. I don't know. Something's causing that relay to go nuts for some reason. So anywho, we learned a little bit about that. So in the next video, I'll be taking, at least unhooking, cutting that wiring harness open, kind of taking a look at it, seeing what's went on, and repairing that if I can. I'll at least put it back together, that way we can see if that fixed the problem or not. Now, the reason I'm posting this kind of stuff is, say you know somebody who's a mechanic or a technician, as they call them nowadays. I did this kind of stuff for years. I actually like doing wiring issues or bugs. I mean, it's fun to me. But this right here is a lot of times why I say you have a friend who is a mechanic and you're like, dang, that bird almost hit me right in the face. But anyhow, say you got a friend who's a mechanic or a technician, you're like, hey, I'm having a problem with this. It's doing this thing or that thing. And a lot of times they have to answer like, well, it could be this or it could be that, because what we've been doing on this is what technicians and mechanics do every day. You have to be like a detective or, you know, like a private investigator. You have to try to go find out what is causing them. And it could be one problem causing 2 or 3 issues, or it may be 2 or 3 issues causing one problem. So you might fix one and that may not fix the whole issue you're having. So bear with those people, you know, because a lot of times when they do it every day, they're pretty good at it. They can be like, well, it's probably this or it's probably that. But this right here is an in-depth problem. And if I didn't have the knowledge and say I took it to a dealership, I mean, you could be $4,000 or $5,000 deep just in diagnosing this. And a lot of people can't do that. That's why these things hit the junkyards or they just set and they never get fixed. But this one, we're going to get it fixed. We're going to turn all those lights off. We're going to get everything fixed back the way it needs to be. So I hope you have enjoyed this. These last few have been kind of slow going. I'm sorry about that. It's the way things are sometimes. We got the cheap Infiniti driven. It's fixing to go up for sale. Things looking good on it. We're figuring stuff out on this car. So please give me a subscribe. That'll drive the channel. Give me some comments if there's things that you've seen or you want to see, or you may have a comment on something I'm doing that may help me, or if you have a question that I might be able to help you with, that's fine. I did have a comment the other day about the vacuum harness. A fella told me he was going to have to take a closer look at that. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take him, hopefully he's watching, I'm going to take him and do a pretty close-up of this vacuum harness that I did and kind of go over it one more time. So here we're at the vacuum harness again. The main reason I wanted to get a 99 Cobra harness, or 9901, is for this 90-degree main vacuum hose. It splits into 3 different ports. 2 go this way, 1 goes that way, and it splits again. But this port may actually be on other vehicles. I just knew for a fact it was on this one, and it gave me all the correct orientation. So I can't remember the fella's name on here that kind of had mentioned that, but I was going to give him a just kind of an overview of it so he could see that. Last thing for the channel today on this video, I've got a pile of wood here. Pile of wood. This is my building materials for my bathroom. Now, this is not usable, so don't think I'm just in here sitting on it, doing my business and it out here in the open like that. My shop is actually plumbed for a small bathroom, if I can get to it. There's our sewer. That's set up for a vanity or lavatory. So in the next couple of videos, I may actually shoot this. I'm going to be framing a 5x8 bathroom in this corner for my shop, because we're all getting older and we don't want to be having accidents up here in the shop, and it's a long run back to the house, so we need to get that took care of with my building materials. All right, we're going to put an end to this nonsense today. I did look up the guy who commented about the vacuum harness on the Mustang. His handle was at Larry Anderson 2766. So Larry, if you see in this video, hopefully that close up will give you a little better view of that vacuum harness. If you need anything else, just let me know. I'll send you some pictures or a video, you know, to you somehow. I'll get it to you. But I hope y'all have enjoyed this. We're going to dig a lot more into this Mustang in the coming weeks. I'm making a pickup next week, so we may not have a working on video, but we'll definitely have a video of something special for this thing, and I'll reveal that to you then. So like I said, please subscribe. That'll help me drive the channel. Likes, comments, anything I can do to answer any questions, and we'll see y'all in the next one.